We are back with episode 5 of our Saskatoon Berries Out of the Park Baseball 25 expansion franchise. And today we are going into the offseason between year 1 and year 2. And this is going to be huge for the Berries. We have arbitration, we have free agency, we have international free agency signing of the amateurs players. We have some new goals. Our goals, as you can see there on the screen, play close to 500 ball. We need to upgrade at second base. There is a plan to hopefully do that in free agency. We need to increase our attendance from 32,035 to 36,000 per game. That's a near sellout, so that's going to be huge for us. We need to find a top 20 prospect. We're definitely going to do that through the amateur free agent signing period. And we need to build a top 6 minor league system. We are currently 25th, so we need to continue to add there. So hopefully we can do that. Season 1, the Berries went 71 and 91, so 20 games under 500. We need to improve by 10 games to get close to that 500 ball. Hopefully we can do that with some free agents and some younger players coming up. Arbitration, if we take a look there, has been offered to all of our arbitration eligible players. We have so many, we just can't afford to lose out on anyone. The one offer, Tony Gonsolin, is an offer that we kind of lowballed a little bit because he did not play for us last year. In terms of free agency, we have only two, Garrett Hampson and Kevin Pillar. They will not be getting qualifying offers at all. Probably will not be back. Maybe Pillar if he's kind of a fourth outfielder. And all of our minor league free agents, there's a couple that did very well, but they're going to be gone. Aside from Tobias Myers, who had a 1.6 WAR, who actually looked very good in AAA. Yes, ignore the 6.57 ERA. There's some better things along with that. I'm hoping to be able to use him in the bullpen for next season as kind of a long man at the major league level. So we've offered him a 1-year deal. Everyone else, though, is going to be completely and totally gone, so we can remake our minor leagues using the players we drafted last year and some other minor league free agents. So hopefully we can build this team up. So let's get into the offseason. No more playing around. You guys know the team. You can see the lineup there. We need to build the Berries to be the best possible, and let's jump into it. So we have a bunch of arbitration offers here. Jose Urquidy has got one. He got 5.2 million. Dane Dunning comes in at 5.5. Lamont Wade Jr. at 5.764. Taylor Saucedo just over 1.8 million. Josh Fleming got 1.3. Vesia got just under 3.4 million. Foley, we have here at almost 2. Kevin Biggio, 5.5 million. Ouch. I don't know if I want to do that. Mateo, 3.6. Joey Bart, 1.5. Madrigal, 2.8. Dubon, just under 2.5. Tony Gonsolin got nearly just over 7 million. That really, really surprises me. So we have a bunch of arbitration offers that came in there. So that puts our payroll at right around $91 million. So that is a little higher than I would like with all those arbitrations coming in. So we're going to have to make some moves that way, maybe to free up a little bit of money. It definitely cuts into what we have available to us. We've got around 12, just over 12.5 million available to us as we head into free agency. We are going to have to do some work to free up some money. We also, of course, have the international free agent market. There's a few players here out of Japan and out of Cuba, so we will take a look at some of those as well. We also have free agency starting, so we are going to take a look at that, see what everybody's available in the market. We definitely need a second baseman. Maybe there's an international free agent I haven't looked at yet for that to fill our need for us. So the original thought going into free agency at second base was to sign a player like Wilmer Flores or Gleyber Torres. Wilmer Flores wants more than 14 million for 6 years. Gleyber wants 5 years at 13 and a half million per season. That's just not going to fit our budget. We've got almost $27 million for free agency. So we do have some players movements we can make. I think we're probably going to look at a player maybe more like a Jerkson Profar, Brendan Rodgers, someone to fill in this gap a little bit and see if we can find some pitching as well. So we have made 5 offers in free agency. Hopefully we can get all 5 of these players. We're really targeting them. Trevor Richards as a free agent right-hander of the bullpen. He wants a minor league contract with a $1.8 million guarantee if he's in the majors. I think that works out very good for us. Starter David Peterson wants a 1-year, $3.8 million contract. He had a 3.10 ERA for the Mets last year in 87 innings. Richards had a 8.06 ERA split, but 3.56 with Toronto. So that works out. He's going to be a long man for us anyway. Ross Stripling, as a starter, wants a $2 million 1-year contract. He had a 3.95 ERA for Oakland. That would have been best on our team, so that would really help. Ryuichi Imanaka is a Japanese starter who looks very good. 49 overall, 49 potential, so basically league average. He is 30 years old, but he just wants a minor league deal with a $1.8 million guarantee on a 1-year contract in the majors. And then our big splash is to try and get Canadian Tyler O'Neill, 21 home runs, 50 RBIs. He wants a $12 million contract, 3 years, so $36 million total. I think this would fit very, very well for us. It would really, really set our outfield with Nelson Velasquez, Mauricio Dubon, and Tyler O'Neill would really set it up. Allow Lamont Wade to play first, move Blaine Crim to the bench likely, or DH. So I think this fits very, very well for our team, a Canadian. So we will see what happens, but this is where we're going in free agency. So we do have a trade offer from the Yankees for right fielder Christopher Familia. They want Kevin Biggio, Richard Gallardo, and more importantly, they want $4 million in cash. So that's not going to be happening. We do have another offer, though, where we get second baseman Santiago Espinal from the Portland Beavers. For shortstop Jorge Mateo, we're going to ask them to retain a little bit of cash in this as well, try and balance it off a little bit, but this makes a lot of sense for me. We are going to be spending a little bit more money, but Santiago Espinal comes in at a 42 overall potential. Jorge Mateo is very similar, 40-40. They're very similar in age. The difference is we have Vidal Brujan who can play shortstop. We don't have anybody who's any good at second base, and we cannot find anybody at this moment. Yeah, decision has been made. We are going to accept the deal for Santiago Espinal, bring in another player who can play second base. Jorge Mateo moves out. We still have Vidal Brujan to play shortstop. We'll try and pick up another middle infielder here in free agency, but I like the thought of having Espinal here to help ourselves out at second base and try and reach that goal. So big jump in time. There's been a lot going on in this offseason. So let me run you through everything that's happening. We have so much going on. Talk about first off in terms of our free agency. We have signed David Peterson, who to a 1-year, $3.8 million contract. He was a player who wanted 3.10 ERA with the Mets last season. Signed. Starter Ross Stripling, 1 year, $2 million. Signed. He had a 3.95 ERA for Oakland. Back in the rotation guy. Fits very well for us. Our huge signing, Tyler O'Neill, to play left field for us. 3-year, $36 million contract. He is signed. 21 home runs, 50 RBIs with Boston last season. So he is now our left fielder. We're just about to enter into our international free agent signing period. We have $4.75 million to acquire some young talent there. I'll show you the players we're going to look at here in a second. Taking a look, though, at a couple other players that we have picked up. Justin Foscue, Rule 5 pickup, first baseman. Look at his numbers at AAA last year. 34 home runs, 82 RBIs, 147 OPS plus. Plays a very, very solid first base. Not a lot of speed. Definitely some power. Definitely a player who would fit very well. Right-handed hitter, kind of replaces Blaine Crim. He can play a little second base for us too if we want to, which fits very well. And another Rule 5 pickup, Christian Robinson. Tremendous speed. Solid corner outfielder. Hopefully can build as a center fielder as well. Numbers at AAA were down last year, but AA, he looked very, very good. So I'm hoping that he can kind of grow a little bit, mature at the major league level. 37 overall, 42 potential. Yes, he's going to be a weaker player in the major leagues. Yes, we have to keep him in the major leagues. But I think his speed, he can definitely be an asset for our team, at least as a fourth outfielder. Another player we have acquired is second baseman Lenyn Sosa. He was part of a trade, 39 overall, 43 potential at the major league level. If you look at his abilities at AAA, 56 overall, 62 potential at AAA. So he's going to start the year there as our future second baseman. Ton of contact, hopefully can continue to build on that. Average power. He plays a decent second base, can play a little third base, not a ton of speed. His numbers in AAA last year, though, the 117 OPS plus, 28 home runs, 95 RBIs. Remember, this is a second baseman. He was dealt for Jason Foley. So Jason Foley, our all-star reliever from last year, was packaged with one other minor piece for us who didn't really make any difference. For second baseman Lenyn Sosa, 24 years old. Foley was 29 years old. I think this is a huge, huge pickup for us for our future. We pair him with Everson Arteaga, our young prospect shortstop. I think that is going to be a huge piece here. There you can see Arteaga. So a middle of our infield for the next few years, I think, is taken care of. Arteaga's 21 years old. We've had a ton of offers for him, trying to develop him in the lab. I do not want to move him out. So Arteaga and Sosa look to be our up-the-middle combination at Regina at AAA this year. The other prospect news is the draft lottery took place. We are expected to pick 6th in next year's draft. We actually bumped up to the 5th pick, so that'll give ourselves a little bit more money to play with and a little bit more talent, hopefully, to acquire at the number 5 pick. We've yet to see the prospects for that. I want to make sure I get these guys all right. There's some big free agent signings that went on, of course. Juan Soto, believe it or not, went to the Dodgers. Yeah, I don't get it either. The Dodgers are going to be absolutely loaded. 4 years, $130 million. Matt Chapman to Seattle. Clayton Kershaw went to Houston. Verlander back to the Mets on a 3-year deal, which I don't get either. And the big one in our division, the Portland Beavers, our expansion cousins, brought in Pete Alonso, 5 years, $24 million per year. So they went big game hunting. We're still waiting to hear from Trevor Richards as a bullpen piece as well. And when you look at our pitching and adding to our rotation, so Ryan Pepio, David Peterson, Dane Dunning, and Ross Stripling are there. Of course, Kyle Muller is still hurt, but we have Tony Gonsolin, so that is a huge part of our step forward, I think. We have 5 legitimate Major League starters. Bullpen, everybody wants Abner Uribe. I want to keep him. We have Vesia, Fleming, Saucedo, McKay, Urquidy, Suter. We need to add righties, so that is why Trevor Richards is so important. We're probably going to need to add another right-handed pitcher to our bullpen to help us out there. Although I think our bullpen is very solid, and you look at some of the numbers from last year, I think it's going to look very good, especially as we have some length with guys like Urquidy, as you know, our 6th man in the rotation. Brendan McKay can be that spot starter. So we have some length in the bullpen as well. Lineup wise, as you can see, we still need a shortstop. Vidal Brujan's kind of filling in for now. Other trade, I forgot. We acquired Santiago Espinal. Don't forget about that. So he's going to play second base. Lamont Wade, Tyler O'Neill, Nelson Velasquez. I still want to upgrade at third base with Kevin Biggio, but that might be for next year. Foscue, DH, Bart, and Christian Robinson. So I think we have a very nice lineup. I like the middle of our lineup with Lamont Wade, Tyler O'Neill, Nelson Velasquez a lot. So we need to add to our international scene here as well. First player we're targeting in terms of international free agents is Vicente Morales, 16 years old. Yeah, 16-year-old Dominican starting pitcher. I love the stuff. The movement potential is there. Curveball, changeup, sinker, very interesting mix. He's a ground ball type pitcher. I think will play very well in front of our team. So he's kind of the first guy we are targeting. His demand, he's looking for $2.6 million. That kind of fits our budget, I think. So Vicente Morales is our first guy we're targeting, as well as center fielder Ernesto Barrera, who's solid contact hitter, potential center fielder, probably more likely a corner outfielder in the end. A lot of range, though, if he is in the corner outfield. Not a great arm. A ton of power potential. And he's looking for $2.2 million. You combine it, 4.8. We've got 4.75. So those are guys we're targeting right there. Another player we're looking at, Juan Velos, 20 overall, 68 potential. Just a ton of balance in his potential. Contact, power, gap power. As a third baseman, we need some third baseman in our system as well. And he's not looking for a ton of money. $270,000, 16 years old. So that is a player we're targeting as well. And one other starter, Alejandro Flecha, decent stuff, decent control, fastball, changeup, splitter. Maybe he ends up being kind of a bullpen guy, but I think he looks like a solid starter for us to start looking at in terms of free agency here in the amateur draft part. Only looking for $200,000. So again, so we have a couple of guys with low demands, a couple of guys with high demands. Hopefully we can piece this together and see if we can get maybe 2 or even 3 guys out of this free agency period. So let's jump into that. Here we go. So a bunch of big news coming in. Trevor Richards, the reliever we were hoping to pick up off of free agency, has signed with Oakland. That really sucks. So that we're going to have to look for some free agency help in the bullpen as right-hander relievers. We have missed out on our international free agent guy, the center fielder Ernesto Barrera. It looks like he is going to the Rockies, $2.95 million, which is definitely over what we were offering. We've also been top for Vicente Morales, so our top two guys are gone. We're going to have to make some changes here. And I think we're going to have to double down and make some over the slot type offers for some players here. Alejandro Fletcher looks like he might be going to Oakland, so we're going to have to do some maneuvering here. We also want to get this Juan Veloz, so we'll see what we can do here in terms of international players coming in. So we've changed up in terms of our international scene. We're going to let Ernesto Barrera, he just wants too much money at this time. He's going to get 2.84 million from someone. That's fine. I'm not looking to blow the bank on a center fielder. Vicente Morales wants more than 4 million. He's getting from the Royals, so that's not going to happen. So Juan Veloz is back in play as our third baseman. We're making an offer there, a very low off, 200,000. Alejandro Fletcher is still out there, 250,000. So we're taking a look as well at David Montmayor, who is he throws the kitchen sink at you. Slider, curveball, changeup, splitter, cutter, knuckle curve. This guy doesn't throw a fastball, but he has tremendous control and he has solid movement. I think that could really play someone who throws absolutely everything at you, 17-year-old righty. So I think this plays very well for us. So that's kind of the players we are looking at there in terms of international. Hopefully we can acquire some of these. We have also got the results from the Hall of Fame, and we were able to vote for this earlier in the offseason. This is very cool in my eyes. So Todd Helton and Ichiro Suzuki have both made it to the Hall of Fame. Beltre has not in this simulation. Billy Wagner didn't. He has dropped out. You see the results there. CC Sabathia, Andrew Jones, Joe Mauer did not make it yet in this simulation. We have some guys that have dropped off like Hanley Ramirez, Jose Bautista, some expected names down there. But very, very interesting. Very fun to do this in terms of the Hall of Fame vote. I didn't vote, in fact, vote for Helton and Ichiro and Beltre. I believe I voted for Wagner as well. So that gives you an idea of some of the Hall of Fame voting that also goes on is a wonderful piece of out-of-the-park baseball. So we have locked up a couple of international players. David Montmayor has signed with our team, so that is huge for us. A starting pitcher. He's the guy who throws absolutely everything. 20 overall, 72 potential starting pitcher. That is huge, and he will be making his way to likely the rookie league very, very soon next season. Alejandro Fasha, another starter as well. Fastball changeup splitter. 20 overall, 51 potential. Another solid above average starting pitcher. We're still working on another starter and our third baseman. Trying to get them, but Montmayor was a bigger signing. Flasha was a smaller one in terms of money value. So those are huge moves for the Berries and building up our farm system. We've got the third baseman, Juan Veloz, 20 overall, 68 potential, very, very balanced third baseman. The question will be his defense, but we can use the development lab over the years to hopefully improve his defense as a third baseman. Looks like a solid player in terms of contact and power, some speed, so that really helps us. 68 overall potential is going to be very big for us as well. So we're looking to add one more starter from the international signing period, and that will basically break our bank. We'll basically be out of money in that sense. And that player has signed Simeo Portocarrero. You guys get the picture. Venezuelan starter, 48 potential only. Hopefully that will build over time. He is a very athletic player from what they're telling me. Fastball, changeup, sinker at this moment. So we'll see what he can do. Hopefully he builds into a starter. He has decent velocity compared to other international free agent guys. A lot of them were sitting in that 89 to 91. He's 92 to 94. So maybe he's got a big arm. Decent stuff, some movement, needs to improve there. He's going to need a breaking pitch as well. We'll have to use the development lab for that. But there we have it. So 4 big players, 4 big signings from the international scene that exhausts our money there. So that is huge for our farm system. We've also signed reliever Jimmy Garcia. That adds a righty to our bullpen, which we desperately needed. Far too many lefties. So that is a big help moving forward. Jimmy Garcia is now added to our bullpen. We picked up a late player in the international signings, Mauricio Enriquez. Dominican reliever, a lefty reliever. Imagine that. Fastball slider, strictly. So definitely a bullpen type arm to develop. 49 overall, or 20 overall, 49 potential. So I think this fits very well. He'll likely be starting at rookie team this year as well. So we have a lot to look at. We've had some players moved around, so we'll need to add some from the complex up into rookie ball and start developing some of these guys. We've hit the kind of the end of free agency. We were getting into the preseason idea, so we're going to work our way through this and see what we can develop, who we're going to set for each team, just our minor leagues, adjust the financials, and really build this Berries for year 2. So just in updating as we look at some of our goals, the idea is to play close to 500 ball. We still need to upgrade at second base, increase the attendance to 36,000 a game. We're projected at 37,000 per game, so that's very good right now. We have to find a top prospect, a top 20 prospect. David Montmayor, who we just signed from the free agency international signing, is ranked around number 14. So hopefully he sticks there and we will have reached that goal. We've actually moved our farm system from 19th. We were 25th. We bumped it all the way up to 19th. So that's huge. And we're looking to build a team to reach the playoffs. So it looks like we're going to reach at least one of those very high goals. And we're still building on the second one. We still have another year to do this. So hopefully this sticks and we've hit some of these goals. Some wonderful news on the injury front. Kyle Muller, our starter, who's expected to miss something like 10 months, is expected back in about 2 to 3 months, which is about a month ahead of schedule. So that puts it, we're currently at the start of February. So March, April, May. So maybe early to mid-May, we have Kyle Muller back. That would be absolutely huge for us. We also are finally pulling the trigger on Mitch Haniger. We're going to waive and designate for an assignment. I shopped him around the league, offering to pay his entire contract, and nobody wanted him at $15.5 million. He's just not a player we can make use of anymore. So we're going to allow him to go. I don't think anybody's going to pick him up. We're going to be stuck with the contract in a lot of ways, but it allows us to put Jimmy Garcia on the 40-man. So we moved some money around, and I had some money left over. I'm looking at a free agency. Walker Buehler is being brought in 2 years, $4.8 million per year, which sounds incredibly low. And I'll explain why. He is out. He's had Tommy John surgery and is expected a recovery time of 4 to 5 months. We will put him on our injury list. So 4 to 5 months means he's going to miss most of this season, probably coming back around July, which would be actually a great chance for the second half for us if he can be healthy. And we get him for next year, $4.8 million for Walker Buehler for the second year. Really, that's 9.6 total. I'd have given him 1 year, 9.6 just for the second year. So I think this is going to really, really help our rotation, get Walker Buehler. We have a ton of players at the end of this year hitting free agency. As you can see, there's a ton of players that are going to be hitting free agency at the end of this year. Mitch Haniger, we've already dealt with or are in the process of dealing with. Jose Urquidy, Kevin Biggio, Lamont Wade Jr. The only one of those I'd probably want back is Lamont Wade. Brent Suter will be gone off the books. Ross Stripling has a cheap contract, as does Jimmy Garcia. So we have a lot of players hitting free agency. We are freeing up some money. There'll be a little bumps for guys like Tony Gonsolin, Dane Dunning. You can expect some arbitration guys. But I think this sets our team up very, very well for the future. The fans absolutely love the acquisition of Walker Buehler. They love the acquisition of Tyler O'Neill. I think we're really improving this team moving forward. It gives us another starter. Kyle Muller is coming back. It gives us some real pitching depth. So we've set our spring training roster for all you guys to see. We have a bunch of outfielders: Will Brennan, Brendan Davis, Dreeling, Velasquez, Connor Wong. Center fielders: Dubon, Marcy, Christian Robinson, Edgar Zamudio, our huge prospect. His potential's come down a little bit, though. Left fielders, of course, Tyler O'Neill's the big name there. Blake Sable, Eduardo Diaz. Shortstops, plenty of them. Averson Ortega is the big one in my mind. Vidal Brujan, Theo Gillen was a draft pick last year. Kevin Biggio, Juan Velez was an international signing. Vinny Capra, Espinal, Foscue, Madrigal, Morales, Sosa, plenty of second base type. First base, we are still some pretty thin, so we're going to have to make some moves along the way. Blaine Krim, Lamont Wade Jr., catcher, we got to add some catchers here. Joey Bart, but we have Sable and Wong as well. A ton of relievers. As you can see, a ton of starters. I'll likely go through spring training off camera, but as you can see, we have really, really changed our team and our outlook moving forward. As you can see, guys like Ryan Pepio, David Peterson, Dane Dunning, Kyle Muller's expected back. Ross Stripling is going to be a part of this rotation. So a lot of players there. The international scene was very good to us, picking up 5 players. Walker Bueller is an ad for later in the season. Tony Gonsolin is back. We know we've added to the lineups with our big free agency signing, Tyler O'Neill. Combined him with guys like Amont Wade and Nelson Velasquez. I think we have a very, very nice team moving forward. So thank you so much for following along in our Saskatoon Berries journey. I have a big surprise from it coming for you in the next episode, so please make sure you tune in for that one. As always, comment down below. Go Berries, go. So the next will be kicking off with the season opener to year 2, looking to hit that 500 mark or better and contend for a playoff spot for the Saskatoon Berries. As always, thank you so much for watching. Go check out some previous 3 Up, 3 Down videos. Until next time, take care, everyone.